I've heard you talk about um, how children adapt to these highly stressful environments,
Right.
and that adaptability can sometimes be quite remarkable and actually produce some quite incredible skills or sensitivities later in life. Obviously, it comes at a cost, but can you articulate how that adaptation sort of happens and how some people end up with these, I don't know, superpower might not be the right word, but these sort of like exceptional skills in some ways?
Well, so let me quote you again from the same article that I just cited. This is again from Harvard Center on the Developing Child, 2012. Growing scientific evidence demonstrates that social and physical environments that are necessary, that social and physical environments that threaten human development because of scarcity, stress, or instability can lead to short-term physiologic and psychological adjustments that are necessary for immediate survival and adaptation, but which may come at a significant cost to long-term outcomes in learning, behavior, health, and longevity. Now, so they're saying that the adaptations are necessary in the first place and they help the child endure the immediate stress, but they become source of problems later on. And that's largely how I see it. So it's not the adaptations that result in these skills, but in working through them later on that result in certain skills. So let's take an adaptation. Tuning out, absent-mindedness is an adaptation. Dissociation is an adaptation. When the stress is too much and one can't change the situation or escape from it, then one dissociates. Well, that's not a good thing, but it's a good thing in the short term because otherwise the child's brain just couldn't endure the stress. That same dissociation then results later on in any set of mental health conditions from ADHD, where tuning out is the hallmark of it. So that's what I've been diagnosed. We're at the extreme end of the scale with psychosis or dissociative disorders. Now, the working them through results in a lot of insight.
Mm-hmm.
The adaptation, or take an adaptation like, given my first year of life, I get the message that I'm not wanted, which is certainly the message that the world gave me. Well, then I might work very hard later on to make myself wanted.
Right.
So that makes me a really good physician. I work hard. I'm available to my clients, more than available, day or night. I work hard to ensure that they do well. All those are good things. But driving it to a certain degree, to a significant degree, is this desperation to be wanted and to be validated and to justify my existence, which the world denied that I had a right and denied my right to when I was first in this universe. So that may seem like a good thing. Now, being a dedicated physician or whatever professional or pursuit that you have, that's a good thing. But if it's driven by an unconscious need, it's not a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, we can learn to work through those things. And I've gained a lot of insight and empathy and I dare say compassion through working through my own material. But it wasn't that the adaptation itself made me compassionate. Well, I don't know what to say. I'm not sure I'm being clear on this answer here to you, Joe, because
Yeah.
it's
I,
true.
I,
From a very early age on, I was aware of pain in the world. And I was very aware that people have felt pain or were hurt who in no way deserved it. And the question, why are people hurting people, has always agitated me. Like, how could this have happened? What
yeah.
made human beings behave the way they did, and what makes them behave today the way they do? So those experiences certainly can excite those questions in someone's mind. As far as sensitivity is concerned,
Yes.
which you mentioned, by and large, I think that's the one thing that's genetic here. Um,
Mm.
There are certain genes, and this is a big mistake that a lot of researchers make. They think people inherit mental diseases. No, they don't. There's no gene that codes for any mental illness. There's no set of genes that code for any mental illness. There's no set of genes without which you can't have a mental illness. There are a set of genes which, if you have them, you're more likely to have any number of mental health illnesses, non-specifically. Now, but will those same genes, given good circumstances, lead to increased creativity, leadership, spontaneity, aliveness? So what are the genes for? The genes are for sensitivity.
Yeah.
And the more sensitive people are, sincere meaning the Latin word sincere, to feel, the more they feel. That means when bad stuff happens, they feel that more, and their adaptations become more rigid. At the same time, when good things happen, it has a more positive effect on the sensitive person. So sensitivity itself is a neutral quality. Given the right environment, it's highly beneficial. Given the negative environment, it leads to more pain and more suffering. Mm-hmm. But it always makes for a more possibility of insight and empathy.
Mm-hmm. Hey, thanks for checking out that clip of the Mindspace podcast. You can get the full episode here on YouTube or check it out on your favorite podcast platform. Thanks, and be well.